Okay, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has joined us. He's the driver of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Appreciate you coming in, Dale. I know they got the track getting close to dry, but I think we've got a few minutes here. But a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to ask you, I know you spent some time, I believe it was yesterday, up at the Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. And, you know, so many times in our busy lives, it's great to be able to sit back and be able to kind of get back to others. I know you do that on a daily basis, but let's talk about that experience that you had up there, Dale.
Yeah, I was really lucky to go up there and get a bit of a behind-the-scenes look and be brought in and introduced to several patients and get a bit of a tour of some of the facility. We've been up there for the last year or two to go through that, and it's a lot of fun. The patients are awesome to talk to and to get to know. And we donated the victory bells, much like we have at Hendrick Motorsports, to them yesterday, and 2 of the kids graduated today and have rang it today. So it's awesome to know that thing is getting some use. But it's a great treat for me to go there, and I got to take Amy with me this week, and she got to see a little bit of it, and so it's a lot of fun. Look forward to going back.
Thank you, Dale. And second question, we're at the midpoint of the season. We had some really good racing so far, and now we go second half of the season. Just maybe your assessment of your season so far and what you're looking forward to the second half.
Well, you know, we obviously aren't up in the points like we're used to, and haven't been getting the results that we expect from our team. But you know, we just keep working, keep going to the racetrack and showing up. It's been a frustrating weekend so far. We kind of got recommended to scuff our tires by Goodyear, so we did that all day yesterday, and we haven't really had a lot of time to practice and actually see what the car's got. So I'm very, very anxious to get back on the track. So I appreciate NASCAR's decision to cancel qualifying to give us the opportunity to get more track time, considering the situation that a lot of the teams are in. So I think that was a great move, a real smart move. Plus the track could use a rubber that we'll be able to put down on it if we get the opportunity to practice later on today, more so than what qualifying would do to the track. And so I'm just looking forward to getting on the track, and that's really the way it feels every week. I just need more time to work on my car, and we've had a lot of weather and a lot of unique situations week after week that seem to stymie our team's ability to really set our car up and get it ready for the race. So it's been a bit frustrating every now and then, but you know, still enjoying it, still having fun, and still believe in the group we got, and love being a part of the crew I'm with. And I know that I know that we can do it because we've done it before. So just, you know, anxious to get back to running how we should. And I think we'll do that before the end of this season.
Let's go to Fred right here on the front row. We'll take a few questions. We'll start with Fred, and then we'll go to a young lady here, and then Claire.
Just some thoughts about first impressions. What are some of the challenges you're finding out at this track? What are the things that you like about it, or some things you need to work on? A lot of guys are talking about getting into turn 3 and 4 and how difficult that is.
Yeah, the entrance to turn 3 is weird. It's flat. Entrance down into the center of the corner, and then there's just the car just gradually gets into the banking in the middle of the corner, and that's unusual. Usually, you go in a corner, the whole corner's banked, not just half of it. But that's basically what it is. It's like half the corner's flat, and the last half of the corner's banked up onto the front straightaway. So it's a very weird sequence as far as driving into that corner and trying to get the car to handle it. Really wants to get loose there, and I'm sure everybody's struggling with that. And I don't think you're going to get it perfect. I don't think you're going to get it to where it's awesome. You just got to get it as good as you can, stand it.
Let's go to the young lady right here, and then to Claire. Go ahead.
Emily Spink with Popular Speed. This is the new surface for the track. How do you approach this track with the new surface, and what do you all need to do to get up front and win the race?
Well, I think the tires, probably a pretty hard tire. Goodyear usually brings a real durable tire to the repaves. So what you can do in the race is really, not take tires at all or take 2 tires. You probably won't change lefts every time you come down pit road. So that's a great way to get track position if everybody else isn't doing that same thing. So we'll just, you can get off sequence, not pit at all. It just depends. It's a 1-groove track, so passing's going to be really difficult. The trucks raced pretty well yesterday. They got a little softer tire, and that they got the track kind of pretty wide in 3 and 4, and I think that we might see some of that in our race. But 1 and 2 doesn't look like it's going to get that wide, and we don't have the spoiler and all the grip and downforce that the trucks have. So that's why they were more comfortable running 2x2 and more comfortable than we will be anyways. But so it's going to present a lot of challenges as far as trying to get around the track and trying to pass and going into turn 1 and 2 side by side. It's going to be somebody's going to have to make a decision to give up the spot. I don't think you're going to see many guys challenge anybody on the outside there.
We've just been told the practice is going to start very shortly. We're going to have time for a couple more questions. Go Claire and then Heather in the back. And I'm sorry, but we've got to go. Go ahead.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Yesterday I talked to a lot of teams in the garage, and they were really frustrated because they were scuffing and they wanted to learn, and Casey Kane's team was so good in practice, and then yesterday they weren't as good. You seem like you developed an ability to handle, to not be as frustrated, not carry that on. I read the quotes from the Nationwide Children's Center, and it just seemed like, you can let that kind of continue, or you can kind of come past it. It seems like you've been able to do that lately. Is that true, do you think?
I hope. I hate to get frustrated, and that doesn't help Greg, and you don't want to show that kind of emotion in front of your guys. That doesn't help them do their job. That doesn't make their job more fun. It actually makes the job less fun, harder to do. You don't want to be somebody that's hard to be around. So trying to be positive and give good reinforcements is something I'm working on. You're always working on. And we do have more practice, so we got time to tune it up, and Greg's going to change everything he can to help us. We made a lot of changes already after the first run we made today, so I'm anxious to get out there and see what that did to the car. And there's other races. If this race don't work out, there's a race next week.
We got one more question, and Dale really has to go. Back in the back, I promised her. Go ahead.
WCYB in Bristol. I'm working on a story on spotters. You've actually worked with your spotter for a long time. Can you talk about the importance of that relationship between the driver and the spotter?
Well, you need to be able to really trust the information he's giving you. He's going to tell you a lot of things that are going to be critical to keeping you out of trouble, clearing you, and particularly at some of the racetracks where we run 2 and 3 wide all day long, like the plate racetracks. When you got a great relationship with that guy and you know him personally, it gives you a lot more comfort and trust and belief in